We are 243 subs away from 409,000 subs on Chat Sports. Help us get there. Not just going to be NFL stuff, by the way. More and more NBA coverage with the with that playoffs going on right now, and of course, draft lottery coming up on Monday. Whole lot of coverage for you. Not just NFL, NBA, everything else in between. Hit that sub button right now for more free sports and NFL YouTube videos. Why we're called Chat Sports, after all. Let's talk Jalen Ramsey. The Dolphins are reportedly still trying to find a Jalen Ramsey trade, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, but there are issues here. Here's what Fowler reported on ESPN, SportsCenter. It says, Miami's been calling around on Ramsey trying to work on a potential trade. They were doing so in the days leading up to the draft. So something could shake out here this offseason. I'm told Ramsey does want to play for a contender. So he wouldn't just go to any team considering his age, his pedigree as a Super Bowl winner. The sticking point here is that there's $24 million in guarantees. My sense after asking around is Miami has not been overly eager to cover some of that bill, which sort of makes a trade hard to pull off right now. Not many teams have cap space, right? LA Rams, it could be a reunion here. They've been in the mix. They're a team to watch, certainly, for Jalen Ramsey. I do think the Rams make a lot of sense for Ramsey. They've got the need at corner. They are a contender. They know the player. It would be objectively fun to see the Rams trade him to Miami for like a 2-year rental and then bring it back. It's like some European soccer-style loan going on out there. I think it actually does make a lot of sense. The money's a problem. That's how it always is. Here's how things break down. His 2025 cap hit for the Dolphins is $16.7 million. If they trade him away right now, the Dolphins actually lose, as unusual as this is, a significant amount of money. They lose $12.55 million. That's a lot of money to lose. Now, if they trade him after June 1st, they actually save $5 million. Now, it adds bigger dead cap hit in 2026. It's still a $29 total million in dead cap, but it saves them money. The new team cash would owe $21 million. There's additional guarantees next year that kind of comes into that $24 million price tag. It's not cheap to trade for Jalen Ramsey because the Dolphins just paid him a big fat new contract, one of the highest paid corners in the NFL. He's got 4 years left on that deal, by the way. That's a lot of money. He's still a damn good football player. Now, he's 31 years old. You question how much longer he has as a top-end corner, but he's still awesome at the whole football thing. So, predictions. What team do you think, if any, I think none is a valid option here, what team ends up trading for Jalen Ramsey? Get those predictions in at the pinned comments of today's show. If that ad comes here on YouTube, it's fine. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Let's go to Aaron Rodgers, and somehow, some way, we're still here. We're waiting on Aaron Rodgers to decide where he wants to play football. It seems like right now it is Pittsburgh or bust. There are no other options available. It doesn't seem like it's going to be Minnesota unless it's a surprise injury. It's going to Pittsburgh or retiring, and that's not the whole thing. As I'll kind of derail this conversation, it's weird, right? This isn't how it's supposed to be. Rodgers is still a starting caliber QB. Is he the MVP caliber guy he was at his peak in Green Bay? Of course not. But it's always the other stuff that you have to deal with Rodgers that complicates things. And this year's stuff, it is May, and he has not officially signed a deal with Pittsburgh. It is, and it's put the Steelers in a pretty bad spot too, where they kind of have to start making decisions here. We'll break that down in depth, but I want predictions. Will the Steelers end up actually signing Aaron Rodgers? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Do you think when it's all said and done, the Pittsburgh Steelers do get Aaron Rodgers? Y or N? Go vote in the comment section of today's show. Objectively speaking, the Steelers quarterback room right now is terrible. It's not good. It is Mason Rudolph, who couldn't beat out Will Levis for a starting job in Tennessee. They kept going back to Levis because Rudolph wasn't any better. Will Howard, a late day 3 pick, who I like as a backup, and Skylar Thompson, who is the ultimate camp arm, slash preseason arm. this is not an actual starting quarterback room. This is not a good quarterback room. You add Rodgers to it, okay. You add maybe a Kirk Cousins as your backup plan, okay. You have to make decisions here soon. Voluntary workouts already underway for the Pittsburgh Steelers. OTAs start for Pittsburgh on May 27th. You want your starting quarterback there. He needs to be there, especially if he's learning a new offense. Like, you have to have that stuff getting installed here. Otherwise, you're going to be playing catch-up the entire time. Mandatory minicamp is on June 10th for Pittsburgh. Training camp is in July. I don't know if there's an actual firm and fast cutoff date for Pittsburgh. We are 3 weeks away from it. Like, you have to make a decision here. And if it's not Rodgers, go trade for Kirk Cousins. Because starting Mason Rudolph is not a viable plan in the year 2025. Like, come on. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Cash in on the basketball playoffs going on right now with Prize Picks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup, whether it's points, boards, assists, takeaways. Pick more or less. You can also do season-long football Prize Picks slates. I had less than on all these. Jared Goff, Lions offense, probably won't be as good. Less than there. Travis Kelce will not be as heavily utilized in the Chiefs offense with Rashee Rice healthy. I think it's less than there. Jaden Daniels probably won't be asked to run as much either. Then do the flex play. That way, if you get one wrong, you still come out on top. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. It's Prize Picks. Run your game. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Let's go to Brock Purdy. And there are some conflicting kind of reports around what the actual Brock Purdy contract is going to end up looking like. Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, expects $55.1 million per year. We'll explain why in a second. Mike Jones of The Athletic says around $50 million per year. There are comparisons here. Now, I would say in general, because of the uniqueness of the leverage points between Dak and Josh Allen, I think we got to toss those deals out. Dak Prescott was weeks away from being a free agent. He could not be tagged, all the leverage in the world. Josh Allen was 4 years away, really more like 6, from being a free agent. So like those deals, like the amount that Allen got is very unique from the guaranteed money perspective. The per year Dak got is kind of unique because of just the complete opposite ends of the spectrum of those contracts. I think for Purdy, let's just toss those out as comparisons. So then you've got the guaranteed money for Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and that $55 million per year price tag. If I'm Brock Purdy, why aren't I asking for, you should give me Trevor Lawrence money? Maybe it doesn't end up getting, adjusted for the salary cap, but he gets a little bit more on the per year side. There's nothing we can really point to and say, yeah, but Trevor Lawrence has done this that Brock Purdy hasn't. And the way stuff we value for contract talks, there's nothing to it. It's draft pedigree. That's all it is. So if I were Purdy's agent, I'm asking for Trevor Lawrence money. Does he get it? I don't know. He's coming off not as good of a season. He was also really good in 2023. He's had a lot of playoff success. He's been a lot better than what I thought he was going to be. Is he truly worth $55 million per year? Is it the Shanahan offense boost? To me, once you're in the $50 million per year price range, that's telling me that you think he's your franchise guy. I would not risk losing or upsetting my franchise QB for $5 million per year. Like, I've seen Diami Brown get $10 million. He's got 350 yards last year in a career high. I'm not going to let $5 million ruin me. I can just back with the hell of it and be fine. So with that in mind, what is the most you'd pay Brock Purdy per season? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Let's talk one of the top free agent stuff out there. Brian Baldinger, who does some really good stuff over on NFL Network, says Justin Simmons wants to be a member of the Philadelphia Eagles alongside Vic Fangio, who he once played for back in Denver. There were plenty of buzz last year around Simmons in Philadelphia. Ends up in Atlanta. still is one of the most prolific interceptors of the football in the NFL, even if his play has declined a little bit as of late. I am interested in his fit in Philadelphia. The Eagles spent a second-round pick on Andrew Makuba, who I like a lot. Offers maybe some nickel stuff if you had to, but probably just play safety. I like Reed Blankenship. You're hoping Sidney Brown, a former top 100 pick, stays healthy. And then it's, is Lewis Seen ever going to be a piece? Do you trust some older UDFAs and Tristan McCullum and Andre Sam? Does Maxon Hook carve out a role? I get Simmons' interest. I actually don't know how much interest Philadelphia has at this time, especially coming off the title and getting some guys healthy. But this is definitely a potential fit. I'm just curious how much the Eagles have a desire to add him at this time.